The target settlement payments for the big scale.
This is Channel 7 Action News, WXYZ Detroit, this afternoon at 12 o'clock.
Winter, but a milder start to spring. How warm it's going to get in your 7th First Alert forecast.
And today's date is March the 19th, 2015.
7 Action News reporter Nima Shafee is in Newport with the very latest. Nima.
The home here behind me on Lakeshore Drive in Newport is a total loss. The home right next door sustaining a little bit of damage. But as you see right behind me, there is a second home where a woman escaped. That is almost a second total loss.
We got a call around 5 o'clock this morning of a well-engulfed house fire.
What remains now, a puddle, and the only thing standing, the chimney. Everything else burned. Take a look at the flames in this video from overnight, and you'll see what firefighters were up against.
It was basically underground to begin with, so unfortunately, had somebody been inside, it would have likely been a fatality.
I woke up to the fire alarm. We have a good fire alarm system.
This is Kathy's house now, hours after the fire destroyed the neighboring home. And take a good look. The home has some extent.
Stay tuned with Channel 7 Action News. We will return momentarily. We're currently having difficulty. Stay tuned with Channel 7.
I think it's going to happen to somebody else, and then it happens to you. It's an unbelievable thing to happen to anyone.
We could have had some loss for life. Early morning fires are inherently dangerous because people are sleeping. And unfortunately, we had no injuries, so it went as well as could be expected.
In Newport, Nima Shafee, 7 Action News.
We'll take a look at the Detroit River on this last day of winter now. A cool day out there today, but you can expect a warm-up coming. Let's check in with 7 First Alert meteorologist Hallie Vogel right now. Mostly sunny anyways. We've seen a lot of sun lately, Hallie, even if we can't warm things up too much. That's right, Joanne. It is nice to see the blue sky. And we are going to see some cooler temperatures today, appropriately enough on this last day of winter, but temperatures will rebound, and they typically do rebound pretty quickly this time of the year, so good news there. 36 degrees. We have more clouds around Ann Arbor right now. It's also 36 degrees downtown. 35 and overcast in Pontiac. If you want the sunshine, boy, that sun is shining in Port Huron, Monroe, Adrian, with temperatures in the low 30s. So a little chilly, certainly. We're seeing a good deal of high cloudiness as we go through the day today. You can see the leading edge of some of that light rain or even a little bit of a wintry mix in the western UP, where temperatures are certainly chilly. 26 degrees when you cross the bridge into Sault Ste. Marie, 30 degrees Marquette. Our temperatures will be warming into the low 40s and a couple mid-40s across the area, especially inland areas with an east breeze. But a little milder for that first day of spring tomorrow. I'll talk about that and have your 7-day forecast. That's all I have. Now, by Governor Snyder, police and firefighters to fix Michigan's crumbling roads. They are teaming up to push for Proposal 1 as we get closer to Election Day in May. 7 Action News reporter Jim Kirchner is live in Dearborn with the very latest on this. Jim.
Joanne, they've done polling and they're tailoring their message. You don't have to look very far to see safety is a buzzword for the voters. They did the event here at this Dearborn Fire Station, trying to convince the voters to vote yes May the 5th. It's $2 billion. They're trying to convince the voters that'll be spent well, but it continues to be a tough sell. You can tell the polling is on the minds of voters, and they're tailoring their talking points, including that Michigan spends less than any other state on transportation. Almost a third of our bridges are in need of repair, and the roads are so bad, each of us spends $357 on repairs. That's the highest, the state says, in the Great Lakes. Now, 7 Action News earlier this week rolling out the Humvee on patrol to helping stranded drivers who hit potholes, giving them a $150 gift card to help repair their tires. The vote is confusing, though. While it's $2 billion, only $1.2 billion goes to roads. The rest of the money for schools, local governments, and low-income tax relief. Critics say this is just too much of a money grab.
Doing nothing is the very worst answer. Nobody likes their roads, and their conditions only declining faster and faster every day. This is a good opportunity to do something proactive, to do something positive, and it's long overdue. Let's get it done, because it's only going to cost more the longer we wait.
We always poll. It's a messaging thing. You understand, when you're trying to identify what people are really most concerned about, polling is a great choice of a ballot question with a poll is very difficult.
So this will continue to heat up leading up to the May 5th vote, but how much money will be spent on the campaign? Not just the roads. I'll have more later today. I'm live in Dearborn. Jim Kurtz, 7 Action News.
All right, Jim, before you go, what's plan B if this doesn't pass? There isn't one really, is there?
I asked the governor that. He doesn't like to talk about that, but if this fails, he's going to have to work with the legislature. It is possible they could get something done between now and October the 1st. That's the start of the next fiscal year for the state, so they do have that time frame, but the governor really doesn't like to talk about that. He's really trying to sell this plan.
Yeah, we want our roads fixed. We'll see how it gets done ultimately. Jim, thank you so much. A massive water main break in Highland Park has been fixed now, and the water is back running. The break happened on Hamilton near Glendale around 9 o'clock yesterday morning. It was fixed about 8 a.m. today. People in the area had little to no water as crews worked to fix the problem. Many people affected told 7 Action News it was frustrating because they were not notified by the city about the shutoff. The mayor says that's because of a lack of personnel due to the budget. State police have finished the investigation into the massive pileup on I-94 in Kalamazoo, and investigators have decided that 63 drivers will be ticketed in the crash. The multi-vehicle crash caused both east and westbound lanes of I-94 to be shut down for 2 days, you may recall. This happened back in January as crews worked to clean up the damage. One person was killed, more than 24 injured. The investigation determined that drivers traveling too fast for the road conditions were to blame, and because of that, again, 63 of those drivers will be ticketed. We have new information now on a gunfight that police happened to come across. Detroit police say they were checking out the scene of a previous murder at 8 Mile on the I-75 service drive. That's when an officer saw 2 guys involved in a shootout. The suspects ran away. Police tell us officers did not fire shots, and the suspects did not shoot at them. We are following new developments now in that deadly attack at a museum in Tunisia. Today, police arrested 9 people linked to the massacre. Security forces say 5 of those arrested were directly connected to yesterday's shooting that left at least 20 people dead. Gunmen opened fire with AK-47s and explosives on tourists and staff at the Bardo National Museum. Several tourists hid from the gunfire, including some that were discovered today. Tunisia's prime minister called the act cowardly, and First Lady Michelle Obama expressed condolences while traveling in Japan.
My concern would be that an individual who's becoming radicalized in their basement is watching video on the internet of an attack and decide that they want to replicate it.
It's still unclear exactly who carried out that attack. Back here at home now, somebody is breaking into cars around a new hotspot in Corktown, the Batch Brewing Company. Detroit police tell us at least 1 undercover vehicle was even broken into. The company posted on their website saying they've had 3 separate incidents. Batch Brewing says they've added security, which will patrol the lots every day. If you know anything about the break-ins, you are asked to call Detroit police. Well, there is a new state school superintendent, and he happens to be from Dearborn. The State Board of Education has selected the superintendent of Dearborn Public Schools to lead the Michigan Education Department. Brian Whiston won over 2 other finalists after hours of interviews and discussions yesterday in Lansing. Superintendent Mike Flanagan is retiring this summer. Still ahead on 7 Action News at noon.
I go to UVA.
A young student bloodied during an arrest. How other students are now demanding justice, protesting that struggle.
And stay tuned with Channel 7 Action News, WXYZ Detroit. We've got more news coming up. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
And the big payout from Target for that identity theft scandal. How much are victims getting?
And we appreciate you watching Channel 7 Action News, WXYZ Detroit. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
is adding 105,000 vehicles to its growing recall list related to those explosive airbags. The added vehicles include the Pilot SUV from the 2008 model year, the Honda Civic from 2004, and the Accord from 2001. Honda says the airbag inflators can explode, spewing shrapnel into the vehicle. At least 6 deaths have been attributed to this problem, so if you own one of those vehicles, it's imperative that you get this problem fixed. All you need to do is contact your dealership and they will take care of it for you. The Brush Park neighborhood in Detroit may be getting some new lofts. New renderings of the homes are posted on Courage Detroit's website. The project will be located at Erskine and Woodward. The drawings were apparently done by Newman Smith Architects. The Curb site says the building would be mixed use with retail space, parking, and about 200 apartments. The project is expected to break ground as soon as May. Still ahead on 7 Action News, a big search for young, talented workers in Detroit. 5,000 jobs available, but the city needs help from companies to make this big plan work this summer.
Stay tuned with Channel 7 Action News. We will return momentarily, and thank you so much for making us your #1 station in Southeast Lower Michigan. Stay tuned with Channel 7 Action News. We'll be right back.
Investigation into accusations of police brutality. This comes after the arrest of a University of Virginia student. ABC's Elizabeth Hurd has the latest.
His head is bleeding! Calling the use of force excessive and unnecessary. I go to UVA! Supporters of 20-year-old Marquise Johnson, a black male student at the University of Virginia, whose arrest was caught on this cell phone video gathered overnight at a rally on campus, bringing Johnson to tears.
I beg for you guys, regardless of your personal opinions and the way you feel about subjects, to please respect everyone here. We're all part of one community.
It was early Wednesday morning. Alcoholic beverage control agents wrestled the college junior to the ground after Johnson tried to get into a bar near campus. You can see his blood on the pavement, his head injuries reportedly requiring 10 stitches, angering students and prompting the university's president to call for an investigation.
My heart went out to him. I thought how I would feel if I were his mother.
At one point in the video, someone in the background is even heard chanting "Hands Up," a movement sparked by the shooting death of Michael Brown in Ferguson. In fact, this is Johnson in this picture with his hands up at a rally himself after Brown's death. And now some say this video is yet another example of racial tensions between authorities and civilians.
Johnson was released from jail after being charged with public intoxication and obstruction of justice. His lawyer says he will be fighting those charges vigorously. Elizabeth Hurd, ABC News, New York. There's a new order by President Obama for the federal government to cut emissions of greenhouse gases by 40%. The executive order will also direct the government to increase the use of renewable energy sources by 30%. The White House says taxpayers could save $18 billion in electricity costs by reducing greenhouse gases by 40% over the next 10 years. On this Thursday afternoon, we want to get you caught up on the forecast now as we take a look outside at how things are looking over Southfield. Lots of blue today, still a little bit cool, but we're all gearing up for the first day of spring tomorrow.
Oh, yes, we are. Indefinitely.
Hi, Allie. Hi, Joanne. Again, it is so nice to see that sun shining, despite the fact that our temperatures are down a little bit from yesterday. But overall, yes, a cooler end to winter, but temperatures rebound nicely for our first day of spring tomorrow. The chilly air not quite done yet, as 30-degree temperatures do return, and right now it does look like it returns before the weekend is over. If you want to be really official, spring arrives tomorrow at 6:45 in the evening tomorrow, so it looks good. Now, temperatures right now, it is 36 degrees out there. We have a cooler east breeze right now with high pressure just to the east of us, and that's winding in that east to southeast wind for us today. Winds about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Sunrise time this morning at 7:39. Now sunset this evening at 7:44. The air is very dry. You look at our dew point temperature, 17 degrees. That signifies that the air is dry, so any cloud cover right now looks to be high clouds that will be coming in as we go through the day today. And that east wind keeping areas like Port Huron, Mount Clemens, even down toward Monroe. You're likely to see temperatures a little bit cooler than, say, inland locations away from that breeze. 34 degrees in Port Huron right now, also Mount Clemens. It is 36 degrees in Ann Arbor, 34 degrees in Monroe, so you see a little bit shy of our inland folks, but 33 right now, Adrian. We'll continue to see this flow as we go through the day today. Once we start to change over to more of a southwesterly flow, that'll usher in some milder air for tomorrow. But it's high clouds we're mainly seeing, but we're seeing quite a few breaks too, so again, it's nice to see that sunshine as we go through the day today. Several things happening. High pressure off to the east of us, again, winding in a clockwise fashion, bringing in that east wind. But area of rain back for Denver. So we'll watch this for tonight. Could see a few spotty rain showers late tonight, maybe a little bit of a mix as we go through the overnight hours. And then once it moves out, our temperatures back up to near 50. The jet stream flow is nice and northerly. Now, it's the weekend that brings in more of what we would classify as an Arctic type front. The jet stream takes a little bit of a dive, and our temperatures retreat back down into the 30s, so certainly cooler. Here's our hour-by-hour forecast. It's going to be a close call as this southern storm passes just to our south, so maybe a few spotty showers. Best chance south of the city. Look what happens to the East Coast. Areas like New York, New England, they're looking for accumulating snow on the first day of spring. So we are fortunate. 44 for a high today, looking pretty good. 30 for a low tonight. A few spotty showers, maybe a little bit of a passing mix. 51 tomorrow as spring arrives. 50 and breezy on Saturday, a chance for a few showers. And then that front brings our temperatures down for a couple of days. We do rebound nicely by midweek. All right, Hallie, thank you so much. 5,000 jobs are waiting for Detroit's young people as part of a mission to grow talent in the city. It's a citywide summer jobs program providing leadership for thousands of kids. But there's one big problem here. The city needs companies to make this work. The program is called Grow Detroit's Young Talent, and there's a desperate need for more employers to sign up. To talk all about this now, Sean Blanchard is with us. He's the Director of Youth Services for the City of Detroit. Sean, thank you for being with us.
It's a pleasure.
Let's talk about this youth program. What's it all about, first of all?
Well, first of all, 5,000 jobs for youth between the ages of 14 to 24. It's a 6-week meaningful experience, and there's about 120 hours that each youth will actually work during that time.
And they get training ahead of time, correct?
That's right. And so, actually, the way that it works, we really centered it around 2 components. As we travel the country, we noticed that there are 2 reasons why employers may be apprehensive. It's because, one, our students prepared to what I do on the job. Right. So we created youth support and employer support. Youth support being free work readiness training, ongoing training throughout the 6 weeks, once a week, and then in addition to that, making sure they have transportation. That's for the youth. Okay. For the employer, we actually have training for them as well, so they'll know what to do on day 1. Ongoing assistance, so they always have someone to call and help them throughout that experience. We also have evaluations for them to actually provide the students just for a little care to make sure the students are doing great. And then also for this experience, it's actually $2,000 to make sure the youth are prepared, make sure they're paid, make sure they have transportation, make sure payroll is taken care of, liability.
So the companies don't pay the workers? This program does?
That's right.
Wow.
Now let's clarify that.
Okay.
Because it's $2,000 for the experience. Right. That's what we ask from the of experience. So $1,000 for the actual employer. If they can't have it, $2,000, and we'll go from there.
That is just phenomenal. How many employers are you in need, and what type of work are you looking for these kids to do?
Excellent. So the amount of employers is, it really doesn't matter how many employers, it matters how many slots.
Okay.
So if you're an employer, we have about 4,000 jobs now. We need 1,000 more.
Okay.
And so what that means is if we had 2 employers that came on board and said, I'll give 500 apiece, we would be at 5,000.
Yeah, you would.
But nevertheless, we know that we'll need more employers than that. So we need as many as possible to come on board and really take the call of action. The types of jobs range from if you're an owner and operator of a McDonald's, or it ranges from there all the way over to corporate jobs in the mayor's office, PricewaterhouseCoopers, which is a global accounting firm, DTE, a number of organizations like that to make sure we can provide the types of jobs that can really enable our youth to grow.
I love it. So important. Sean Blanchard, thank you so much. We'll put the information about this program on our website if you want to get involved. Thanks for being with us today.
Thank you.
Great work. We have new details for you now on a major settlement by Target. The company has agreed to pay $10 million to the victims of that massive breach back in 2013. Target says as many as 110 million people could have had their personal information stolen. The company says they will create a settlement fund, and individuals affected could get up to $10,000 each. Target has offered free credit monitoring for customers since that breach. More Action News after the break. Stay with us.
And thank you so much for joining us on Channel 7 Action News. We're always taking action for you. We will have the rest of our newscast, and you can also join us at 5 and 6 o'clock on Channel 7 Action News. And you can also join us on the Now Detroit at 4 o'clock this afternoon daily. So please stay tuned with Channel 7 Action News, and we'll see you back here at 4 p.m. for the Now Detroit with Channel 7 Action News, WXYZ.com. And just remember, we're always taking action for you in Southeast Michigan, and we are your #1 trusted station for breaking news and developments and severe weather and much, much more. We'll see you back here at 4 p.m. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day.